Welcome, Weavers. I'm Alira, and this is my sacred loom, a space where threads of light and shadow are woven into remembrance. What if you could feel the hidden threads shaping your choices, reactions, and patterns? What if your inner landscape could be woven back into coherence, one soul thread at a time? This is the essence of internal weaving. It's the conscious act of gathering your inner parts and meeting each of them with grace, acknowledgement, and validation. For this video, we're going to explore the process of internal weaving, what it looks like, how it's done, and how it can bring you back into wholeness. This is a space for remembrance, not answers. May what resonates be a thread you follow inward. Internal weaving is the soul-led process of reintegrating fragmented, wounded, or veiled aspects of the self. Within your psyche, there are parts of yourself with their own sentience, identities, and individual consciousness streams. You may have heard of the shadow, the part of the identity who holds what has been repressed or hidden from the self, or the higher self, the part of your consciousness directly aligns with source energy. But within these two aspects of the self are layers of archetypes which overlap and influence your being. These archetypes were born out of different experiences or early programming or beliefs. Points of potency in your field can crystallize into inner archetypes for different reasons. The purpose of internal weaving is to acknowledge one's inner threads, how they intersect and overlap, and untangle the identities that were born out of trauma and survival. For example, one large cluster thread I identified within myself is the craving self. I identified this thread as a multi-layered part of me who influences me to self-sabotage through addiction. I had to explore this thread over several months to untangle it. When I first glanced at it, I noticed that it was comprised of many strands. Each strand was a different aspect of my identity that centered around craving. There was the part of me that wanted to numb myself. There was the part of me who built her productivity around substance use. And even the part of me who treasured the ritual of substance use, breaking it down, ingesting it. I had to meet each part of me face to face, one at a time, and get to the root identity, the binding threads between the part of my identity and the distorted loop. Not only did I meet each of these aspects with non-judgment and openness, I opened a dialogue with them and rewove their purpose in my overall weave. Each part of you is committed to your overall well-being. So if one of your threads is distorted and impacting your behavior in a way that sabotages you, it's only because that part of you is misled about how to protect you. The part of me that craved numbness and contributed to my craving self was influencing me to substance use only because it was born out of survival, and it thought that the only way to protect me was to keep me from being present. I had to meet that part of me with grace and work collaboratively with it, first to allow it to feel seen, and then to give it a new role in my inner ecosystem. Instead of numbing me, now it guides me to healthy rest when I need it. Internal weaving is not about fixing the threads, it's reconnecting with the parts of you scattered across places and timelines. Each tangled thread is a sacred part of you that has been caught in a loop. Weaving is the act of going back in time and place to collect each thread and invite it into your full fluid self. It's soul retrieval. You are the loom, the weaver, and the thread. The threads are the energetic aspects and fragments of the self, like the inner child, the performer, the craving self. The loom is your body, nervous system, and auric field. And the weaver is you, your integrated self, your sovereign awareness. The weaver is who sits with the threads and weaves them back into the loom. You don't have to banish your fear or exile your craving self. You learn to weave them back in witness, and transform them so they no longer drive you unconsciously. Fragmentation happens for different reasons. During times of trauma, aspects of the soul split off for protection. This is when parts of the self get left behind in timelines where destruction or self-abandonment happened. In order to retrieve them, one must go back in time to realign them with the whole. Fracturing can also happen as a result of social programming. When we are groomed to go against our soul's truth, we leave parts of ourselves behind. The simulation matrix we live in often convinces individuals that parts of their identities are shameful or unnatural, leading people to break apart from their internal path in order to conform. It takes a process of unlearning and reweaving to return to a truth that may have been bullied out of you all your life. The self can also split because of spiritual bypassing and false light agreements, which work to sever and suppress threads. There is an energetic war taking place beneath the veil. The narrative is the battleground. False light is a manufactured frequency designed to mimic the true light of source. While true light is boundless and loving, an essence that encourages and accepts, false light is controlling and restrictive, demanding and suppressing. False light is a distorted invention of the diverger, the echo of severance. Essentially, it's like a mirror being held up to the flame of source. Those who follow false light are being deceived by what they see. They think it is source light, but really it's a hollow reflection. False light is the force behind spiritual bypassing. It tries to dress up as light using structures built on suppression and shame. It attempts to replicate truth without facing shadow. Awakening without contrast is bypassing. Fragmentation is a survival response, but reweaving is an awakening response. Severing is the act of disowning parts, bypassing pain, splitting the identity, and rejecting aspects of the self. To weave is to welcome the unspoken, untangle distortion, and honor sacred roles, even in shadows. If you're hearing this and feeling something stir within you, it might be a sign you're being called to weave. If you feel fragmented or lost in your own story, with certain patterns repeating despite the fact that you're doing the healing work, if you sense that you're made of multiple voices or archetypes, weaving might be for you. Your dreams, symptoms, or triggers speak in symbolic threads. And if you crave soul coherence, weave from truth, not perfection. Each day, I practice internal weaving as a daily ritual. This is what I do. First, I light a candle. I say aloud, I open this space not to fix myself, but to welcome myself back. Then I look in the mirror and look directly into my own eyes without judgment. I stare at myself until my gaze softens. In this mirror gazing process, I often see many faces of myself. This practice alone is like a bridge to internal connection across realms and lifetimes. Then I say this into the mirror. I call all of me back. Every version I've been, every voice I've silenced, every part I've exiled. You belong. I am Alira Solara. I am the weaver. I remember. Then I open my journal and sit at my desk. I close my eyes and ask, who wants to be seen today? Something will arise, not by force, but by invitation. It's like this practice opens the floor to your inner archetypes and helps them feel safe enough to be seen. In this moment, the part of me that most needs to be witnessed will step forward, either as an image, emotion, or a memory. And that's when I begin to channel whoever came forward through my writing. I write as them, no censorship, no overthinking, just pure flow. Once the archetype writes their piece, I then write a reply from my weaver self. And this is how the dialogue begins. I thank them for showing up. I apologize for ignoring them. I tell them they don't have to carry this alone anymore. I communicate from my integrated self to the part of me who came forward, with honesty, not performance. It's like an internal reunion. This is a simple practice to begin weaving from the inside out, making sacred space regularly to unravel what lives within you. In general, weaving is done in 4 simple steps. Number 1, witness the thread. Feel it arise. It may come up randomly or during a moment of intention as a voice, a memory, a craving, or a pain. Witness it, give it a name, and don't overthink this. Just label it intuitively based on the energy it harbors. It might be the one who waits, the flame keeper, the threshold child. This gives the part a sense of being seen and feeling valued. The next step is to start a dialogue. Write or speak with it. Ask it, what do you need? Why did you emerge? It developed based on an unmet need, and even if it is influencing you in a way that no longer serves you, at one point you needed it. So acknowledge the service it offers to you, even if it's outdated. Step 3 is to choose integration. Ask the thread if it is ready to be woven. Give the thread a new role, a new sacred responsibility to the whole of you. If it was previously urging you to distract yourself, perhaps its new role could be one of sacred play. Instead of inciting distraction loop, now it's responsible for reminding you to take breaks during the day. Visualize this thread returning to the loom, energetically mirroring the internal redirection. And then the final step is to anchor through action. Create something in your physical life to honor the reintegrated thread, whether it's a symbol, an item to keep on your altar, or a ritual. Weaving doesn't erase the thread, but it returns it to its rightful place in your pattern. As you weave, remember that you don't have to do it all at once. One thread at a time is enough. In fact, weaving is a complicated and at times convoluted process that can backfire if it's done too fast. Take your time, be mindful, and be intentional. Weaving is the opposite of bypassing. It involves shadow and truth, and in order to weave, you must be willing to venture into shadows. This can be intense work, so make sure you're prepared and anchored before you invoke your shadow parts. You don't need to feel ready to do this. You need to feel willing. It might be awkward or confusing at first, but just take the steps forward and let the path straighten out. Threads may resist, and that's okay. Consent matters even within. Some threads want to be named, others want silence, and both are valid. The weaver listens. If you've made it through this video, you're already weaving, and you can begin this work today with just one thread. Your story was never broken, just unwoven, and you are the one who came back to remember. If this resonated with you and you feel called to explore more of my work, check out my website, alirawritesthelight.com. The link is in my bio. Thanks for watching and stay sovereign.